All right, what's going on, everyone on the interwebs? This is Jeremy, aka NES Ruler 22, and welcome to episode number 7, the 22 Shots of Mood and Horrors podcast. Like I said before, I'm your host, NES Ruler 22, and we got a full show, guys, tonight, as we always do. So we're going to be starting off every show now with news with JP. Then we're going to jump into the question of the week, which was your top 5 films from the year 1978. And then we're going into my boy Moodz segment, Moodz Swingz, going into what we watched, and we're going to wrap up the show with a discussion on the TV film Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. So, as always, I'm joined by my co-host. We got JP, aka Double Shot J, and the man himself, Moodz 616. Yep. So, let's hop right into the news with JP. So, go ahead, JP.
All right, guys. This week, a little low on the news. Nothing major. There's probably one or two cool things here, mostly just boring stuff. First up, we have a premiere date and trailer for a new TV series on Showtime. Now, Showtime is one of my favorite networks for TV series. Unfortunately, they don't do a whole lot of horror stuff. You know, Dexter could be considered horror, I guess. But they got a show called Penny Dreadful. It's going to premiere Sunday, May 11th. There's a trailer out, and it's basically, based in, characters from literature like Frankenstein and, Dracula and stuff like that. And it's in Victorian era London, and it's going to start. The only person I know that it stars is Josh Hartnett, who was in a couple horror things like H2O and The Faculty and 30 Days of Night. But I watched the trailer, and honestly, it did not look very, it didn't grab me or anything. So there's that.
Is it like a, it's not an anthology show or anything?
No, it's following a character as they are in London doing stuff.
Wow.
What an exciting show.
Yeah,
they talked about it for a little while, and I thought, hey, cool idea, Frankenstein, Dracula, kind of a Van Helsing type thing, following this character and stuff. But I don't know, the trailer, it was only a teaser trailer, but it didn't look anything. It just didn't stand out. I can't even really remember the trailer now. I watched it like 20 minutes ago.
Wow, that's not good.
Yeah, but Showtime puts out some great series. Shameless is like it is my favorite TV show that's currently running. Dexter started off fantastic, but quickly went downhill in my opinion after the final 2 seasons. Well, I guess it wouldn't be quickly, but Weeds, Nurse Jackie, great shows, non-horror, but great stuff. Then we move on to American Horror Story Season 4. Now, I picked up the Blu-ray of the first season. I've still not yet to watch it. How about you guys?
Not yet.
I'm in the same boat. I have.
I have too.
I have season 1, the DVD set of it, and it's not even opened. But I am going to get to it. Actually, I think this week I'm going to start it. So.
Yeah, I might actually start it tonight. I just want to check it out because I hear about it so often, and they're already like going into season 4. But anyway, it's going to be a period piece set in 1950. Now, I think that one of the seasons prior to the 4th season was also set in, like, the Nazi era, so I don't know if it's going to be something different or what. They did say that they're trying to do the opposite of what they've done before, so there's a little hint if you want to try to figure out where this one's going to take place. But I love period piece stuff. I think it's awesome because everything is so much fresher in the past, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Then I guess this piece of news I found pretty interesting. It's called The Boy, and this is going to be an Elijah Wood project. And honestly, dude,
I heard about that too. One of my buddies messaged me on Facebook, and he's like, "Have you heard about this new Elijah Wood thing?" I was like, "Oh, I have not." So I'm curious about that.
Yeah, he's also doing another film called like Cooties or something. I think it's like a zombie film, but that was news months ago. Yeah. But yeah, Elijah Wood, he was in The Faculty, and then of course Maniac, and that's ever since Maniac, I'm just kind of interested in this guy now. But he's in a new project with some people that he worked on Cooties with, I believe. And principal photographer for this film commenced February 17th, 2014. It's a Spectre Vision production, and it's basically a film about it's a planned trilogy, and it's a film about a serial killer. They're gonna track him through childhood and eventually into being, a future serial killer, with installments depicting the character at age 9, 14, and 18. So I guess each film in the trilogy is gonna follow this kid as he goes from 9, age 14, and age 18. That really sounds interesting to me.
That does actually sound really cool.
Yeah,
that
sounds interesting.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Now, the only thing, it also says that Spectre Vision is partnering with Chiller Films on this production. Is that Chiller TV, or like what is that?
Unless they have like a sub label or something like that, and they're actually doing films. I don't know, but I would assume it would be Chiller.
Okay.
So I guess we'll be seeing a Scream Factory release of those.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I kind of wanted to bring this up because unless you're talking about something big like a remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or something like that, when is it? Like, it's kind of ballsy to say you're planning a trilogy. Like, you kind of must have faith in your work to say, like, yeah, we're gonna make 3 of these. You know what I'm saying? Like, with today's time, it seems like the moment something doesn't make huge bank, it's instantly forgot about and dropped from any type of.
I would imagine that these are probably all going to be filmed simultaneously.
Yeah, like Back to the Future 2 and 3.
Yeah, I bet you they film all 3 of these together and then just cut them up and release them at different times.
I would say, like, yeah, that sounds plausible if it was like a major studio, but who the fuck is Spectre Vision?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are they going to put up, this, shit ton of money to make fucking 3 movies?
Well, maybe Elijah
Can't be
Wood's
too much
funding
money.
the shit. He's got money, so I'm sure he could probably, maybe it's self-funded. Who knows?
Yeah, but I just fear that if this thing is like kind of cool, and then it doesn't do well, we're only going to see age 9, and then we never see it, and that would just be disappointing because you hear that a lot. Like, this is a planned trilogy. Like, I got an idea for this as a big story, and then it never had. Like, Scream 4 was supposed to be a trilogy. It was supposed to be the start of a new trilogy. They was quoted saying that as it was being made, and we still are not getting a Scream 5.
Yeah, I don't know what the story is with that either. It's interesting.
Well, I know the story. They just don't. The one of the Weinstein brothers wants to do it. The other one doesn't.
Well, okay. Why does he want to do it? That's ridiculous.
Because he said the one wants to just do one more and say, like, this is it. Just let's end the series. And the other one's like, nah, it's not going to make any money or something like that.
Interesting.
Okay, then we have Constantine. This is that Keanu Reeves film. It's being turned into guess what it's being turned into, guys.
Another fucking TV. No, there already is a video game. A TV show.
Ring, ring, ring.
I'm serious, man. There actually is a video game of Constantine.
There is, yeah. It was on the Xbox, the first one.
When it came
Holy
out.
Shit, of course. But a TV show based on Constantine? What the fuck?
Yeah, NBC adaptation of. I guess Constantine was a comic, so I didn't know that.
Yes.
It's moving forward. Network handling the official pilot orders based on the Hellblazer graphic novels, the Constantine series.
Wow.
We're doomed.
I really wasn't a huge fan of the film. I barely remember it. I mean, I can't remember if it was even good or bad or what. I've seen it when it came out and haven't seen it since.
I actually completely did not like it.
Really? I just remember it being like CGI-ish. Is that accurate?
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
one of my film professors always made fun of this movie, how fucking horrible it is. So
there's a lot of CGI for sure.
I had a friend who was in. This is just a quick little side thing. I had a friend who was in like some kind of middle school film class thing that he used to go to. You know, a bus used to come get him and take him to. It's some connection with Tom Savini's school in Pittsburgh, the makeup effects one. But anyway, long story short, there was this girl in there who was like really dumb, and she's like, my favorite movie is House of Wax, the remake and shit. In the film, the like professor guy or whatever the fuck he was just like went into like 20-minute rant about why that's the stupidest thing he ever heard.
The stupidest thing I heard is I was in one of my film classes last year, and this kid in front of me is like, "Yeah, my favorite film is Avatar," and I just wanted to fucking punch him in the face.
Dude, House of Wax is worse.
I guess so, but
I mean, because that's just a like uninspired remake. I mean, at least Avatar had something, you know.
House of
new
Wax
to
didn't
it.
bother me that much. It's
No,
not
it was
much-
alright, but I'm
House
just
of Wax
saying.
actually, it's more of a remake in name. I mean, the remake
Yeah,
is so
true.
different than the original one, or
Yeah. I kind of had fun with that movie. I didn't think it was that bad.
I haven't watched it in a while, but
I gotta say though, fucking Paris Hilton's death in that movie
Yeah.
kicks ass.
Yeah, it was
It's pretty
funnier.
fucking
It was funnier than the death in fucking Jack the Reaper, man.
they
Oh,
knew
fuck.
that people wanted to see Paris Hilton die.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely created that kill just for her.
Oh yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
The Conjuring spinoff. This is happening.
Is this a
New
TV
Line-
show?
No,
Oh, wow.
surprisingly not.
That's a first.
New Line is moving forward with a spinoff of The Conjuring as Annabella Wallace and Ward Horton are starring in it, and it's going to be called Annabelle. It's going to follow the story of the doll at the beginning
Oh, that's
of
could be cool.
The Conjuring.
That could be alright.
Yeah,
So
no,
it-
it could
so
be
it-
cool.
So it's is it kind of like a prequel to the Conjuring in a way?
I guess so, but I doubt it'll have the two investigators actually investigating. I think it'll just be like the story of what happened before they got investigated or whatever. But
Well, that's
that
kinda
Annabelle
cool, though.
story exists. That is one of their stories. That's a story that's been around for since it happened or whatever quote unquote happened.
Mhm.
And it's going to be low budget and try to make some money off of it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I kind of like spin-offs. I think they're if you have a cool idea that was in your movie that can potentially turn into a movie itself, I say go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And,
doesn't sound too bad actually. It sounds pretty interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
anything to do with a doll is noteworthy for me. I'll
Yeah,
check
I
it
mean
out.
it's creepy. Like that gets to people. That's something that the killer doll, little puppet stuff like that creeps people out for some reason. It really does work.
That's why Chucky's still around.
Yeah, and I guess the guy who served as the cinematographer on The Conjuring is going to now direct. So that's cool that somebody is actually carrying over, and it's like a real spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that sounds interesting.
At least this movie's probably going to be shot pretty well. So.
Yeah. After that, we have a release date for the Poltergeist remake,
Oh God.
February 13th, 2015.
It's just so unnecessary to
1 year
remake.
too long.
It really just is a complete unnecessary remake.
But but then again, I said the exact same thing about Maniac, and then look what happened with that remake.
I'm still sticking
Why
to
can
my guns and saying that the only film that actually probably needs a remake right now is Hellraiser.
They announced who's playing Caroline yet?
No, I don't even know. Is that the little girl?
Yeah.
I don't think they might have. They actually did announce a lot of the cast, and I just didn't care.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to that remake, man. I mean, I don't know. It just comes at a time when they've been doing, like a lot of
I
ghost
just don't know
films
what they
and a
can
lot
do.
of films that are related to this. So why not remake Poltergeist? While they're putting out all these fucking movies, just mix it right in there, right?
I think it
Ugh.
is a Sam Raimi production, though.
I don't give a shit who's producing it. It's gonna fucking. Oh man.
I mean,
Maybe they'll make this one balls to the wall, though. Maybe it won't
honestly, like,
PG
The
horror film.
guy who made Monster House and City of Embers directing it, so I highly doubt that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's probably a good point.
And Sam Rockwell is in it, so I highly doubt
is
anything
that the dude from Clown House?
from Moon.
Sam Rockwell, yeah, he's actually in Clown House.
Sir
Sam
Moon.
Rockwell's he's in fucking everything.
The Moon is so fucking good, though. I have to give him credit on that one.
Okay, well, Poltergeist to me, my relationship with the original film is just that I don't know, like I know it's good, and it's one that is, it's a really well made movie. It's very very Spielbergy, but it's just one that I don't go back to a whole lot. I really don't, and I don't know what it is about it. Like I like the movie; it's a great movie. I just don't watch it. I don't never feel like watching that movie, and I just don't see the point of like I know we say that a lot when we say like I don't see the point, but this is one where I really just don't. What can you do to it? Like what can you like what like there isn't really room to make it better. It was like a perfect time where it hit that PG-13, but it was PG before 13 was there, and it like you can't do that now.
I see what they're doing. They're changing the whole cast names to Bowen as their last name, and Carol Ann's character is not going to be called Madison. That's so fucking stupid. If you're gonna make a remake, at least keep the fucking same character names.
You know what? I kind of liked what they did. Like, I like Sawyer's, but I also like Hewitt's for the Texas Chainsaw remake. Like, I kind of liked when they changed their names a little bit.
Yeah.
To Hewitt's. I thought Hewitt's was cool, but I like Sawyer's also.
Oh, well, we talked about that for long enough.
Yeah, Poltergeist feels that movie always felt like a total Spielberg film. It didn't feel like Tobe Hooper directed that film, man.
Yeah, not at all.
Every time I watch that movie, I go,
he didn't, but
I know, but like it's quite possible that he didn't, because when you watch that movie, it is so Spielberg, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, I mean, if you look at the body of work that Tobe Hooper did up into the point that Poltergeist came out, I mean, his work is not even close to what that film is.
It's still a good film, though.
I always kind of feel bad, though, because I kind of want to, like, give Tobe Hooper, like, credit and be like, yeah, Tobe Hooper, directed Poltergeist, but, I mean, you kind of got to look at it realistically. And
I mean, his name is credited as the director, but man, I don't know.
Has he ever said anything like about it? Like, does anybody know if he's ever been quoted about it?
I would honestly like to see an in-depth, documentary about the making of that film.
Yeah.
Because it would be pretty interesting. Because I mean, everyone says the same thing. Tobe Hooper, I don't know if he had a lot to do with that film, or if Spielberg.
I actually am just curious to what extent I'm pretty sure everybody kind of agrees that he did, like, it was mainly Spielberg, but now I'm just curious, like, how much did he do? Did he do anything? What if he was just there?
I don't know. But I would really like to know.
I heard that whole production was pretty fucked from start to finish, with crazy shit happening on set and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've heard some pretty interesting things about that one too. It's kind of like the stories with The Exorcist too, though, right?
Yeah.
Watch Poltergeist be like the best remake ever. We're sitting here talking shit on it.
I highly doubt that's going to happen, but
I don't think it's going to be the best remake, but it could be. It has potential to be okay, I guess. But
I don't think it does. I disagree. I think Poltergeist has the least potential out of any remake I've heard in a while, because I just don't know what you can do with it. Like, are you going to remake scenes? Like, the clown scene and the face tearing scene, and or are you gonna
that face tearing
completely different story?
That face tearing scene with CGI is gonna be Jesus.
I can imagine.
Real scary, huh?
It's gonna be bad.
Maybe they'll make it their own film. It'll be another one of these remakes in name only.
But even if you're not dealing with something you really have, like, you're dealing with ghosts, like. Yeah. How original can you be with ghosts nowadays?
Well, that was the point I was making before about all these, demon possession, devil films and ghosts and stuff. It's so played out. So who knows?
For one, I'm just not. It's like one of my least favorite genres anyway. So I don't really like ghost stories unless I do, but I like good ghost stories. But mediocre ghost stories are just completely boring to me.
There's a lot of really good ghost stories that were made in the older 70s and 80s and stuff. But as for newer ghost films, not so great. AP1 had Ghost Story. That was a great movie.
I just don't think that the ghost. In today's techniques in filmmaking, ghost stories just don't work anymore because they don't take the time to build the tension and shit. They stuff like Insidious or The Conjuring in hands of a good director can make it work because they kind of get that. idea, but for the most part, I just think that the way that we create movies has changed to it really doesn't lend itself very well to the slow burn ghost story.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're talking more indie stuff, but this is obviously going to be like a mainstream feature.
Yeah.
All right, so unless you guys have anything else to say about Poltergeist, there's one more piece of news.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. Actually, I forgot about this. The new Call of Duty DLC has Michael Myers in it. Looks pretty nifty, so if you like Call of Duty, check it out.
Pack of Duty.
And then, Scream Factory has announced a new title, Ravenous, which is a film that I've actually never seen.
So fucking good.
Cannibal film starring Guy Pearce and David Arquette.
Thank you, Scream Factory. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're putting out something awesome.
Do you like that movie, Jeremy?
Oh, I fucking love it. I saw it 2 semesters ago in one of my film classes. My professor showed it, and I fucking fell in love with the movie.
Really? That gets me excited, man.
Yeah, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, Ravenous is an awesome film, man.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking underrated movie, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of overlooked. Like when it came out, and no one really ever talks about that.
Probably
it's well acted. There's some fucking amazing scenes in it. It's awesome.
He's like, we're gonna watch Psycho. I go, are you really gonna fucking show Psycho again? He's like, okay, fine. And he showed Ravenous. I was like, hell, that movie is fucking awesome.
Dude, you're right. It has to be overlooked, considering I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's fucking good, man.
It's crazy.
Well, it comes out in June for the first time ever on Blu-ray with all new extras planned. So get you some Ravenous.
Yeah, Scream Factory's, they definitely slowed down on their announcements, but man, every time they announce one, it seems to be something really fucking amazing, though.
Yep.
So it's gonna be a good year.
And I've noticed that they started with retro purely, then they went to some modern, but now they're going this mid 99 early 2000s era, which I find interesting.
Well, maybe they should, I guess, the later 90s, which is we always talk about how odd that time period was for horror, but they should just go ahead and release Clown House. They should just do it.
Yep.
It is it MGM?
Yep.
It is.
Dude.
I've
actually got a video planned, my 10 films that I wish Scream Factory could pick up.
Mm-hmm.
And I already got them listed down. I just got to shoot it. So check out that when it happens. That's it for the news.
All right. So, be going into the top 5 films from 1978, like our question that we asked you guys last week. Do you have a question for this week, guys, or no?
Yeah, I got a question. I'll ask the question after we're done.
All right. So
I just wanted to just quickly get into a couple people that actually responded to the question and actually wrote their answers in the comment section in YouTube. Zach, also known as Movie Collector 666, he submitted his top 5 list, which I will get into right now. At number 5, he had the Toolbox Murders. I actually really enjoy that movie too. Magic with Anthony Hopkins, the ventriloquist film, very cool. The Omen 2, it's actually a good sequel.
That's an interesting pick.
And
no.
And then we got another guy. His name is Martin VP.
What was those last 2 from Zach?
You got cut off, Moodz.
I got cut off?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. Halloween and Dawn of the Dead.
Well, okay. We probably could have just, assumed on that one, I guess.
Yeah. So we got another list by Martin VP. He submitted one too. And number 5, he had Long Weekend, which is a fantastic movie. It's an Australian film.
Did we talk about that on here?
Yeah, we brought it up before.
All right.
Number 4 is a movie called Coma, which I am actually not familiar with that movie. Number 3, he had, actually his top 3 is the exact same as Zach's. Omen 2, number 2 was Halloween, and number 1 was Dawn of the Dead. So,
what would you guys say if I said I'd never seen a single Omen film?
Wow, that's interesting.
Yep.
That is interesting.
Maybe we should do an Omen show sometime down the road.
We could possibly do that.
Sure.
I really did not like the remake at all.
I hated it. I saw it in theaters.
Oh.
I saw it in theaters on 6/6 of 2006.
Yeah,
I
you
fucking wanted
remember
to
when
shoot
that was like a
myself.
big deal? I remember
Yeah.
hearing stories like, dude, somebody had a baby, and when it came out, it bit the nurse. And I remember hearing stories like that whole next day.
That's brutal.
I remember sitting in the theater on
Nope.
that day.
Did you know like women were like actually like, you know, trying to not have their baby on that day? They were like, you know, like trying to have it early, like induced labor and stuff.
Of course.
That's funny.
So do you guys want to?
Sure, I'll give mine first. Oh, I'm sorry, JP. Go ahead.
No, that was the two guys, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All
right. My top 5 films from 1978. Number 5 is Jeff Lieberman's Blue Sunshine. Number 4, I Spit on Your Grave. Number 3, Magic. 2, Halloween, and 1, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, I actually had Blue Sunshine in mind, and I was I got dropped out though.
Yeah,
that's such a cool movie.
I love it. He's a cool guy. I've met him before. He's nice.
I guess you want me to go next?
Yeah.
All right. So when I was doing this, you know, like a half hour ago, I realized that I haven't seen like anything from 1978, and then I started looking around. I'm like, I'm kind of like lacking in the whole 70s era, kind of. You know, I've seen like the big titles, but there's a lot of stuff that I am familiar with but never seen. You know, like I know about it, and just made me realize like I need to brush up on some of my earlier stuff. Anyway, number 5 is Piranha. I like Piranha. It's cool. Fish.
It's fun.
Number 4 is Jaws 2. I like fish. Nah, but you know, Jaws 2 I've actually not seen in forever. That's why it's so low on the list compared to this next film. I Spit on Your Grave is number 3, and this is how I know that I haven't seen a ton of films in the 70s, is because I'm not even huge. I don't even like I Spit on Your Grave like a whole lot. Like, I don't know. I'm like very conflicted with that film. I'm not sure if I like it or not. Then number 2 and 1, you got Dawn of the Dead and Halloween. I like Halloween more than Dawn of the Dead. A good bit more, actually.
All right, my top 5 films from 1978. I actually struggled with this. I ended up taking out Blue Sunshine and putting in something else, and it's just there's a lot of good movies that year. But in at number 5 is the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I absolutely fucking love this movie. It's one of my favorite remakes of all time.
I need to see all of those. I've not seen one.
Man, Invasion is such a great remake.
Yeah, it is a great remake.
And at number 4 is the Piranha, the Roger Corman cult classic.
Do you like fish too?
Yeah. Yeah, Piranha's a fucking... It's just a ball of fun, man. I remember watching that movie way back in the day, and, you know, it makes you paranoid, though. You know, like, I watched it when I was a kid, and, you know, all I could think about, you know, going into water was these little fuckers that were going to eat my legs off and shit. I don't know, man. I just find piranhas to be a little more frightening than sharks for some reason. I don't know. I guess it's because you can probably see a shark coming. I have no idea, but... in at number 3 is The Grapes of Death, Gene Roland's fucking masterpiece. I love this movie with a passion. Number 2 is Halloween, and of course... Number 1 is Dawn of the Dead because it is my favorite horror film of all time. So probably not a shocker right there. So yeah.
Now, Jeremy, how much, like, what was your decision making between your number 1 and 2 spot?
The enjoyment I get out of the movies, you know, I think they're equally, you know, brilliant films. You know, I think all 3 of us agree that. I chose Dawn of the Dead out of Halloween because I think there's more to talk about than Halloween. You know, it's such a great satire of America at the time that the film was shot. All 3, I mean, Night of the Living Dead, you know, also is a pretty great satire about what was going on at the time that the film was shot. And I think Dawn of the Dead also is such an awesome movie about American satire and, you know, us going to these huge, you know, shopping malls and pretty much
walking around like zombies and
shit. And I think that is really what pushes
the consumerism in that is The consumerism is just so awesome. That's what I love about those old films, man. Just all the messages and everything that's in, in those films. Romero's a fucking genius, man.
That's what I really liked about Spring Breakers, because I had that same kind of message about, society that not many movies have the balls to do anymore today. So
the thing with Dawn of the Dead with me, I don't know. It seems like I should be more, personal and connected to this film, considering, the mall is, super close to where I live. 30 minutes away from me. And it's it's such a big thing here, like everywhere, like people love Dawn of the Dead around here, like people that aren't horror films.
This is maybe why you don't like it as much as you might think you should.
It could be like subconsciously, maybe that's what it is, because people do like rock the Dawn of the Dead t-shirts and shit around here, and like you'll hear people going to the zombie walk in Pittsburgh and stuff, and it's kind of a big deal around here. But I've always liked Day of the Dead more, and maybe it's because I like subconsciously just want to be like like the other one more. But I don't know, like Dawn of the Dead's like dope as hell, but to me, like Halloween has really grown on me lately, and
it spawned a good remake.
Yeah, and you said about George, well, they both spawned good remakes, right?
Dawn of the Dead is a pretty good remake, I think.
I think it's overrated. I've officially thought like recently that movie's like hella overrated.
I'm not saying it's a masterpiece or anything. I'm just saying it's a solid remake.
Yeah, I am too.
Honestly, man, the more I watch the Dawn of the Dead remake, the less I like it. Yeah. It's weird.
That's the same thing that's been happening to me, dude.
Yeah, I used to really enjoy it. I remember watching it when it came out. Yeah, when it first came out, I think in 2004, I was like, wow, man. Like, that was obviously another remake that I was very sketchy on, because Dawn being my favorite film, and I was like, God damn, here we go again. And I actually really liked it, but over the years, I remember I did a top 10 fucking remake video, I don't know, last summer or something like that, and that was in my video, and I remember watching it since, and I'm just like, I think this movie might not even make my list anymore.
It wouldn't make mine.
No, I think it's totally dropped out now.
Like, it just like it you start like you said, the more you watch it, you start noticing things that are just like, well, that's dumb, or like, well, why they got to do it like that? Like, it would be so much better if they did it like this, or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when Dawn of the Dead first came out, and the very first thing you kind of see is like really fucking raging fast zombies, I was like, wow, that's actually kind of cool.
It startles you.
But then over time, you're like, I really like the original zombies. The slow moving zombies are so much more enjoyable. Mm-hmm. I find it just, I don't know, there's just something about it. Just over time, it just doesn't work for me anymore that much. I mean, I don't hate the movie.
Really dumb in that film.
Yeah,
they're really dumb.
Yeah, and then of course the fucking security guard in that movie is probably one of the most unlikable fucking assholes ever in a fucking movie. Such a fucking asshole. Oh man, it's just.
Yeah, so I mean, but like really quickly, I kind of was wanting to touch on this. But like you were saying about Remaro, how he was like so smart with that. Mm-hmm. I kind of have a theory about these directors. Do you think they just they're not hungry anymore? Is that what it is? Like, they don't have anything to prove anymore, and they just kind of slack off, and they're not creative because they just kind of, from Carpenter to Craven to, Remaro, like these big horror directors who like had all kind of these meanings and ideas and new concepts for their films. Are they just not, once they got like Hollywoodized, are they just not hungry anymore? Is like that why they declined?
I don't think it has anything to do with hunger. I think it's just a lack of better ideas. I think the ideas just aren't there anymore. Like, I mean, can you come up with a better idea? Like, say, if you're Wes Craven right now, could you think of a better idea than A Nightmare on Elm Street? And try to talk. I think so. Some of the ideas just kind of, they're there, but they're not as good. I think that's what the problem is. A lot of people make a lot of great films in their career, early in their career, because they had these ideas, right?
Dude, you know what? Wes Craven could definitely not think of a better idea than Nightmare on Elm Street, considering like 4 of his films afterwards had heavy influences of Nightmare on Elm Street in them.
I was getting to that point, and that's exactly what I was going to say. I totally agree with that too, and I think that's just what it is. I think it's just not being able to come up with a better idea,
Yeah, but as for the filmmaking
itself, like, you know, John Carpenter is a great example. Like, I mean, he's done some really, really brilliant films, and his last movie that he directed, The Ward, I think came out a couple years ago, 2010 or 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, after 8 or 9 years, it was kind of his return to the director's chair. And, you know, in my opinion, the movie's not bad. It's not a terrible movie at all, but it's not a good movie.
No, it's not good.
In my opinion, like, I think the story's kind of cliched, and, you know, there's some twists and turns and stuff, which are very kind of easy to spot. It's just not his best work. I think that he kind of, you know, John Carpenter had so many other better ideas. He didn't really have to do an asylum film like that.
Okay, that coming back to that though, Carpenter, I believe Carpenter didn't write a lot of his stuff though, right? Like, he was a director mainly, right?
No, he wrote. No, he did some writing. I know he didn't write that movie.
Yeah. But... Okay. Well, like, I think we can kind of probably agree, or at least, you know, somewhat accept that most people would consider Carpenter, out of the main American horror directors from that era, to be the best at actually directing.
Yeah.
And you look at stuff like Christine, which is, in my opinion, like, extremely well directed.
Yeah.
And you kind of wonder, like, if somebody gave Carpenter money and gave him another Stephen King story, like, could he still deliver, like, a good product today?
I think so. Like I said, I mean, you know, The Ward it's not directed badly. It's the story itself that is very kind of boring and stuff. But I don't know. I think he could totally come through, especially with the Stephen King story. I think, you know, you give him the right piece of material, you know, something
1944. Let's have Carpenter direct that shit.
Yeah, you know, like, I think he still could do something. You know, maybe he's just waiting for the right story to, you know, to make into a film. I don't know. Who knows? But I would love to see Carpenter do another fucking Stephen King.
I want to see them all do more stuff, man. I'm so fascinated by their work that I just want to see more.
Mm-hmm. I actually watched Escape from New York the other night again, you know, and that movie is awesome. Like, every time I watch it probably once a year, and I just got so much enjoyment out of it, man. I
really want to watch Christine right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, good thing I have the Blu-ray put out by...
I don't even want to hear that. Don't fucking even give that company any acknowledgement at all. They don't
Twilight
exist.
Time.
Twilight Time's got said on our podcast. That's brutal.
Oh, man. I want to, like, I wish I could meet the owner of that company. I'd be like, sir, you are a dick.
Totally. All right, man. So I guess that's
I apologize for all my fucking questions and nonsense, but I'm kind of just want to talk about some of that stuff.
That's totally cool. So, I guess we'll just go into my segment then.
Wait.
I think.
Oh, we're gonna save the question to the end, or we're gonna do it now? The new question.
Oh, you know what? I could probably do the new question. So for next week, episode 7, I believe.
8.
No. The next week's episode 8. All right. So it'll be another top 5, because these are very, very simple. You don't have to think a lot for them. Your top 5 horror sequels of all time.
That is so hard.
No, and this is only part 2s.
Only part 2s?
It has to be a part 2. You can't pick Dream Warriors. You can't pick fucking Friday 6. It has to be
sequel.
A part 2. And I will note that movies in a trilogy do count, even though they're not noted as part 2. Say Dawn of the Dead could make your list, because it's, you know, basically the second part of Night of the Living Dead, you know, kind of thing. And Devil's Rejects, I think I'll let in there too, because
that's definitely a part 2, man.
So it's basically a sequel to. That's what it is. It's just not titled as a part 2, but that's the one stipulation. It has to be a part 2. So Freddy's Revenge, part 2.
I think we can all agree that House of the Thousand Corpses part 2 wouldn't have been a good title.
Probably not. No, there's too many numbers in that.
Yeah.
House of 10,000 Corpse. Is that another zero?
No, they would do the classic House of 1,001 Corpses.
Yeah. That's so bad. That's so bad.
But okay, so I like that question. We've actually talked about doing like top 10s of that same topic before, so that's cool to throw that one in there. I like that one. It's fun.
All right, so Moodz. Go into your mood.
Swing away.
Swingy swings.
Okay, mood swings for this week. First thing I want to talk about is this is YouTube related, and I have I just want to get this out there. You know, for everybody that has a lot of that if you're subscribed to a lot of people, you know, it's hard to get their videos to stay in your you know, in your sub box or whatever. Right?
Especially when YouTube keeps fucking everything different.
Well, that's the thing, and you know, like if you're subscribed to 1,000 people and they're all uploading videos a day, they're all going to get pushed out of your inbox or out of your sub box, right? So you miss videos this way already just due to that. But you know, that's of course because you're subbed to a lot of people. But my problem is right now is people that are uploading upwards of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 videos in one day. And I go into my video feed the other day to watch a video or to check out some videos. My whole video feed is from 2 different people.
Yep.
I'm not joking. I counted 19 videos.
Unsubscribe.
19 videos in my feed, and it pushed all the thing out. And I was like, because Jeremy's like, or someone asked me, "Do you watch a video?" I'm like, "Where was it?" It got pushed out of my sub box, and I never seen it because people are uploading so many videos. I don't understand why you can't just, you know, upload a video here and there. You don't have to upload 17 reviews in one day. I'm having a problem with this. It's driving me nuts. And the thing is, like, you know, like if I'm subbed to these people, I do like them. You know, they're fine, but you just got to tame it down with the fucking uploads, man. It's insane. I don't want to go into my sub box and see the same people with like 100 videos.
Yep.
It's just pushing all, you know, all the other videos out of my sub box and they're fucking gone. I got to go to their webs or to their channels to find them and stuff, which just takes a lot more time, you know? So that's just my little 2 cents. I'm just bitching because I just noticed that I missed a lot of videos this week due to that shit. So, okay. And someone else asked me the other day about your actual inbox on YouTube. So basically all you have to do,
click on your video. Where's Waldo?
Exactly. Yeah. This is fucking bullshit. If you need to find your inbox, because everyone's like, where the fuck is my inbox? Click on Video Manager and then click on the community button that's down on the left-hand side, and your inbox will come into there. That's all you got to do. I'm not sure why it's not bam right in your face. It's your fucking inbox. Like, seriously, what the hell is YouTube fucking doing, man? Seriously, it's so stupid that you got to click on 3 things to get into your inbox. Ugh.
Well, the thing is, considering the inbox used to be there, that means they had to consciously say, let's move the inbox. You know what I'm saying? They had to say, let's remove the inbox. That's fucked up.
I know. I don't see the need to do shit like that. Like, I don't know, man. It's just so pointless. YouTube is they're always ever, you know, changing and updating, and I don't know. And then what was it last week? They all of a sudden your channel names weren't above your videos and stuff.
Yeah, but now it's back now.
Fixed? I figured they would fix that.
They fixed that, but I'm like, what was the point of even doing that though? You know, I don't get it. Oh, okay. Anyways, that's just me bitching about a few things on YouTube. I did want to note I got this month's issue of Rue Morgue in the mail. Rue Morgue is a horror magazine out of Canada. And I did want to note that...
Wait, nobody's going to say a foreign joke right now?
A foreign land.
The foreign land of Canada.
Yes.
But yeah, anyways, so I just wanted to note that they had their top movie of 2013 as John Dies at the End. Do you guys have any thoughts on that?
I've still not seen John Dies at the End, but I know it originally was 2012, correct?
Yeah, I think it's because I think they're based on the releases. It came out in January 2013.
Okay.
On Blu-ray and stuff, so it's considered.
That is Don Coscarelli, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
You know what, man? Don Coscarelli, fucking make another Phantasm movie, dude, right now.
John Coscarelli, he doesn't really do a lot of Don. Did I say John?
Yeah, you did.
And sometimes I'm just so Don Coscarelli. Yeah, he needs to make more movies in general, though. He doesn't direct a lot.
I like him, man.
And every time he does a film, I fucking enjoy it. Like, I really enjoyed John Dies at the End. It's an original.
I've heard good things.
It's weird. It's a weird movie. And I just thought it was an interesting choice for top feature of the year for Rue Morgue. That's why I wanted to, you know, mention that. But, you know, they had some pretty cool, you know.
Where did Maniac place in there?
I'm not even 100% sure. I'd have to actually go into it and find it. But
or did it not make their list?
Oh,
we know.
You know, I think Maniac was...
Were they like me?
You know what? Yeah. Maniac did win a couple of awards in their award section. It was best remake, and it also won for best score.
I agree, man. what?
Yeah,
We didn't talk about score, but like, man, that shit was dope.
and actually that I even thought about that too. Should have put in the score. I don't know how we missed that one. But yeah, so John dies at the end. Best feature. I thought that was actually kind of interesting. The top indie film of the year, Manborg.
Are you serious? This shit's actually good.
Manborg is fucking
smoke.
Awesome. It's so fucking
no,
good.
dude. It wasn't my pick of the week.
Of course, I'm gonna pick it up eventually.
Yeah, I think it's really fucking fun. But that made me laugh though because Astron 6, of course, being from Canada too. But I don't think that's why it won Best Indie.
Yeah, they're biased as hell. No, I'm joking.
No, but I thought that was awesome because how much I love it, man. I know Jeremy's a big fan of the movie now, and everyone that's been watching lately has been saying the same thing. It's just such a fun film. Definitely check it out. It's like 70. No, it's not even 70 minutes. What is it? 60 minutes, man. Of like, it's just it's goofy. It's fun.
It's fun.
And then their best film that you didn't see. Now, I'm mentioning this because, of course, I didn't see this movie, and it was Your Next.
Yep. Fucking love that film.
That was their best movie you didn't see?
Yeah, the best film you didn't see.
Like, as in you as in their audience, not as in actually you, right?
No, I think it's just basically a movie that was just missed by everybody. It's probably because it wasn't shown anywhere.
Wasn't missed by me.
Me neither.
There you go.
But
of course, I didn't see it, but I thought that was an interesting one I was going to know because it's one I'm really looking forward to checking out. And
it's out in them there red boxes,
Well, the isn't the Blu-ray out this month?
It's been out.
Yeah, it's out. It's out. Yeah. It came out Tuesday, I think.
That's right. I was thinking, man, I was gonna, probably pick that up pretty quick because I've been hearing lots of mixed reviews on it. To be honest,
really?
But that doesn't matter to me.
You'll pick up Bloody Homecoming, even though I've said it. Shit.
Yeah,
I can already tell that you'll like Your Next. You'll dig it.
Yeah.
If you want to say it's on the same level as shit, but that's for another story.
All right. Yeah. So I don't really have a whole lot of things to, kind of bitch about in Moodz Swingz this week. So I'll just get right into a website that I actually discovered this week called Twisted Teas. Definitely check out twistedteas.com. I just recently ordered. Link? Yeah, I'll put the link in the description box for twistedteas.com. It's just
it'll be next to the other 70 links.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I found out about this t-shirt website through my man Horrormacbrecrazy, also known as Filip. He's on Body Bags now.
Shout out to Filip.
Big shout out to Filip. Yeah, he threw me a link, man, and he's like, "Yo, check this out," because he knows I'm a big Video Dead fan, and they have like a limited running of the Video Dead hoodies that they just kind of pressed up. So I had to pick one up. They're fucking gorgeous, man. So definitely check out Twisted Teas. They got some pretty good prices on stuff, and yeah, apparently it's really quality stuff. So Filip has a few shirts from there. So definitely check out Twisted Teas t-shirts if you're into that type of thing. I want to give a shout out to David Koning, also known as David K, and more specifically about his YouTube video show. Yes, called The Horror Element.
The Horror Element.
The Horror Element. It's a very, very cool, well done show. It's kind of in the vein of The Twilight Zone. It kind of has that feel to him. He's kind of like the Rod Sterling of YouTube right now. But no, it's very cool. Like he mixes in video updates, reviews. He talks anything horror related. Very, very intriguing. I went back and caught up on most of the episodes. I just need
I did that the other day too.
Yep.
I need to check out the one that he posted today because I haven't watched any videos. But definitely give this he's not getting as many views as he should, man. Like, it's really good. I think he puts a lot of effort into it.
Yeah, so. I was gonna say that it's the effort that is really impressive. He puts more effort into that than most everybody that I watch, pretty much. Like, it really is impressive, and that has to take a lot of time each week. And also, man, he's a big supporter of this show, which is kind of cool. And he's actually his show is actually pretty, like, it's actually good. It's not just because he's shouting us out.
It's fantastic. I love the setup. I love how he dresses up nice. He's got the black backdrop.
Yeah,
I love it.
Sound effects and everything, man.
Yeah, it's all very, very well done. I think it's one of the best, well, basically kind of produced video shows on YouTube. To be honest,
yeah, for sure.
A lot of effort. I mean, if I knew how to do editing like that and shit, man, fuck, I'd have so much fun with that. But what? It's so cool watching someone do that. I think it's very unique.
What's funny is I actually had the same sort of idea when I started YouTube, and I was throw like a DVD update in one video, 2 reviews, a Netflix recommendation, and kind of the same setup. And I'm like, God damn, am I glad I didn't actually go through with it. Mine would look like shit compared to his.
All right, yeah. So big shout out to David K. Of course, the link will be down in the description box, along with the other 400 that are going to be down there at the end of the show. And the last shout out I want to give to is a website called thedevilseyes.com. They have been posting all of our podcasts on their website, so that is super fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big deal to us because that's just awesome. You know?
Yeah.
Like we didn't ask them to do this. They just did it. So very cool.
They actually gave us a little tab too. 22 shots. You click on our little tab. We have our own little section. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, that makes me feel all warm inside. It makes me smile.
Yeah, well, actually, one of the guys who do another podcast on that show, Vince, I've actually been listening to him for years, since like 2010, and that's kind of how I know them over there.
Okay.
But yeah, really cool dudes and stuff. Big shout out to devilseyes.com.
Cool. And that is going to do it for this week's segment, Moodz Swingz. So, yeah.
All right, so very interesting Moodz Swingz. So all those assholes out there posting all those videos, please do us a favor and please stop, because you are fucking annoying. So, next segment that we will be jumping into is the What We Watch segment, where we talk about all the films we watched
Triple W
in the same week that we are recording this, of course. And the first film I watch is a film that Moodz talked about last week, and that's Jack the Reaper. Not going to talk about it too much because Moodz pretty much covered all the bases that I was thinking when I was watching the film. And really confusing storyline with, if you see Jack the Reaper, you die, because the ending throws that away and it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's so disappointing once the story gets all convoluted like that, and you're like, that doesn't make fucking sense. Seriously.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't make
I was
sense.
following you. I was with you up until this point. Why do you got to ruin the fucking ending?
Yeah, just because you have a bus in between you, that means that you're not involved, even though you still saw him. It doesn't really make any sense. And they cut away from the kills because they were lazy bastards and couldn't raise enough money to make a movie, so they had to cut out the kills and cut away.
Is that even a good excuse, though, man? You didn't have enough money. I mean, people create stuff with literally like $20. Come on, that's not a good excuse.
I don't know. I think
you could at least show one good kill, right? Just one, like one at least.
There was not one. There was not any. Well, there was practically no gore. There was a few scenes of gore, but there was no. They pussied out and cut away from the fucking kills. Best part is Tony Todd, like Moodz says. Do not check out Jack the Reaper. It's pretty shitty.
I think they spent their whole budget on Tony Todd.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
So let's put Tony Todd in here instead of some awesome kills. Although the one kill on the deaf girl did make me fucking laugh.
Yeah, that was probably the best part of the movie, minus Tony Todd. So
yeah,
it's interesting setting, but they just ruined it with bad storyline and cutting away from the kills. So I give it a 5 out of 10 on that one.
What did you give it, Moodz? Was that around the same?
I think I gave it like 4.5 or something like that.
Okay, so Jeremy might have liked it a little bit more, but I just want to mention Tony Todd real quick. Tony Todd is like the only like horror actor that actually scares me. He scares the hell out of me. He just is like, his presence is just intimidating.
Yeah, he's a creepy dude. Even Candyman, he still scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. Tony Todd's creepy.
Yeah. But Jack the Reaper. Shit.
Am I going second or third today?
You can go.
All right. What did I watch? Let's see here. Okay, so I watched a film called Splice. This is from 2009.
Mainstream.
It is directed by it's directed by the guy who directed Cube, which is not mainstream. This is like an alien-y type, not really alien, but kind of gets that vibe a little bit, even though these people create a new organism in a lab, and they basically want to combine that with some human DNA and create another new organism type thing. They create a little fucking thing called, they name it Dren, which is nerd spelled backwards. Basically want to study it and stuff. They do it against the will and permission of the company they work for. So they're kind of hiding it. It grows rapidly, much like stuff like Species. It's very similar to stuff like Species, which I've been watching a lot of these lately. I don't know why. I actually kind of really like this one, though. I don't know what it was about it. I thought the relationship between the human characters and the half-human character alien thingy thing was actually pretty neat, and it was like it was like a sympathetic character.
Did you just say thingy thing?
This thing, I was watching this thing, and then this thing happened. Yeah, this thing.
Totally
but it was kind of fucking cute, man. I'm serious. Like, it was a fucking little cute thing, and it was like, I don't know.
Have not seen this movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I kind of liked it, man.
I have it in the collection. Yeah. I just have never watched it.
And then there's some weird like thing sex, which was weird. There's a thing sex scene.
Weird.
The thing and the human have sex, and it's very weird. But I don't know, man. I really can't go into why I really like this one. I mean, obviously there's social commentary there, crowbarring it in about fucking, creating life and fucking controlling life and shit like that. But, that's, you expect that in this type of film. But, there was some like plot issues too. Like, okay, they're creating something that's obviously going to be worth like billions of dollars because it's going to be able to like cure like cancer and shit. But they're just, that you're telling me there's not high security like checking to see if people are fucking creating shit.
Yes,
that they're not
but will it cure the cancer of the thumbs? That is the question. Because we all know people have problems with their thumbs these days, so let's hope it cures cancer of the thumbs.
So yeah, it was. I can tell that most people are not going to like this one, and most people are probably going to think it's like typical crap CGI and stuff. But I don't know, man. It just kind of. It was. I kind of had fun with it. I don't know if it was because I was expecting it to be so crappy, but I really liked it. I think it's a Canadian production too.
I think it is also, actually.
Maybe it's foreign lands.
So yeah,
Splice, you're just getting down on all those foreign films, man. You're watching a lot of foreign films.
I know, dude. I had to watch it with subtitles.
That's good.
Which I actually do watch this little. I watch all my films with subtitles, even if they're not foreign, okay? So it really, really fucking bugs me when there's no subtitles. Motherfuckers put subtitles on your discs. Just saying.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned this to me one time, and I was like, wow, that's really kind of...
Sometimes you can't understand... Sometimes they speak bad English, and you can't understand what the fuck they're saying, so you have to put it on subtitles anyway just to understand what the hell they're saying.
I will not lie. I've actually watched A Clockwork Orange before with the subtitles on, after I've seen the movie a bunch of times, because I was totally missing things.
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, that's the main reason I do it, is I want to be, like, if I don't hear every word, I have a backup, like, I at least see it too, so it's like I definitely hear it. I notice everything they're saying. But if it's a British film, dude, fuck yeah, I'm using subtitles because I'm so bad with British fucking
slang.
It's the slang,
especially
is what it is.
The ones where they're like, "Hey, bruv, come here, you blood," and stuff like that. Like where they're just like all like hoods and shit. Like when they're like really like slangy. Like I can't like Attack the Block. Like I had to use subtitles on that.
Oh, Attack the Block, yeah, it's got crazy, yeah.
But anyway, Splice, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. That's probably an insane rating because I know so many people probably hate this film or at least think it's mostly crap. I kind of really liked it, is what I'm saying.
Cool.
Interesting. Alrighty, so the first one that I watched last week is a film that Jeremy just sent me, and it's from 2013, and it's called The Demented. This is basically a kind of infection / zombie type film. It's about these six, I would probably say, pretty wealthy friends. They all have really good jobs and stuff. They go out to Buddy's, kind of getaway house on this island or whatnot. to do some R&R and shit like that. And of course, there's like this crazy fucking rogue terrorist fucking. They launched this missile that hits the other side of the island, and what it does, this missile, it releases like this virus that infects people. It's kind of like a rabies virus, so it makes people go fucking insane. And they're kind of like really, basically zombies. Like they kind of lose full control, and they're almost like flesh eaters and stuff. So basically, it's about these 6 characters, and they got to get off this island before they become either infected or lunch. Yeah, this movie, I mean, it doesn't really have the most original idea. I mean, these infectious movies have been done a million times. This one's actually starring the girl from I Spit on Your Grave remake. What the fuck's her name? I don't know. And I think she's actually in the second one too. But it's not a bad movie. It's not shot. It's decent for what it is. But the problem is that there's like no gore in this movie. There's barely even blood in this movie.
That's what you said.
I was so surprised for an infectious kind of zombie type thriller film. You expect it to be kind of fucking gory and have those moments in it, but really there was nothing there. And then of course, like the characters, they're all close friends, and they've got some internal issues with each other, with them cheating with each other's spouses and doing shit like that, which is just kind of cliche because it creates that fucking uneasy tension for the characters, and you're just going, oh, I've seen this all too many times. But I will say, it's not a bad movie. I thought the ending was awesome. The very end of the film is actually fucking pretty awesome. But everything kind of leading up to it's okay. I just wish there was some fucking blood and gore, man. For an infection film, like, this type of film, the people get infected, they're just nuts. It's too bad though. But, if I had to rate it, I'd probably just give it maybe a 5.5. Like it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Some of the characters, above average.
It is a little above average. The characters are mostly likable in the film. It's not so bad. But like I said, it has its down points, and it doesn't really have that much rewatchability to it. So, but for $1.50, you can't go wrong, right? So,
or nothing for you.
Exactly right.
Yeah. All right. The second film I watch is a movie that Moodz sent me, put out by Scream Shout Factory.
Cute.
However,
you reviewed one he sent you, and then you reviewed one he sent you.
Oh man, bros, we're bros.
Did you guys plan this? Did you just talk on the phone for 5 minutes before the show saying about how we're going to do this? And it's going to be super cool.
This is a Scream / Shout because they fucked up the spine, and that is The Incredible Melting Man from 1977, which is a very awesome effect movie. Awesome practical effects. I told Moodz it really blew my mind with this melting suit that was created for this film, and the way they were able to create this melting sensation on this guy, it was just fucking fantastic. And the ending shot of the film is it's some of the coolest effects I've seen since I watched The Thing, to be honest. It just had some really awesome, well done effects for the time, especially in 1977. This had some pretty high-tech stuff going on. So pretty much the film is about these 3 astronauts who get this assignment to go to Saturn, and when they get there, I guess they see some solar flares or something, and it kills them all, but somehow this guy makes it back to Earth. Moodz, did they ever explain how this guy got back to Earth from Saturn?
I don't think they do, actually.
That's the one problem I had with this film. It's like the other 2 guys died. How the fuck did this guy get back alive for some reason? But anyway, these solar flares cause this guy to melt unless he eats flesh, I guess you could say, or
awesome.
Or consumes blood. And as time goes on, he melts more and more because he's not killing people, and so this melting effect it's just fucking fantastic. It's like I said, some of the coolest makeup I've seen since The Thing, and for 1977, it's so good. You guys definitely should check out The Incredible Melting Man if you want. And I know this film gets shat on. It has some terrible reviews out there, but it's just a cheesy, fun film from the late 1970s.
Who in the fuck is giving this movie bad reviews? It's so much fun.
It has like a 3.3 on IMDb. It's fucking terrible.
Wow, that is really surprising. I think it's a fun movie. It's such a great, like you said, the effects are amazing, but it's a really good melt movie. You know, they don't make enough of these, but this one's really good. I think it's fun.
Really fun. So I gave that one a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay, so The Incredible Melting Man is one that I actually do own a Region 2 copy of. I want it in a contest, but I'm kind of just waiting to watch it till I get the Scream Factory edition, because I hear the transfer is better than the Region 2 copy have.
The darks are okay. It's a lot of grain, but me and Moodz were talking about, with the negatives that they had, I bet you they had to do the best they can, but the day scenes are very, very good. Lots of bright colors. Very impressed with the day shots, but the nighttime shots needed a little work.
Yeah.
That's
one that I'll be getting sooner rather than later, because I'm starting to catch up on the Scream Factory releases I need, and that's one of the few earlier ones that I need left. So I'll get it.
Yep, really, really fun film. So yep, that's my opinion on that.
Okay. Next up, I actually watched a film called Mirrors from 2008. What?
Never mind. Sorry.
Did you say Mirrors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen this movie.
Kiefer Sutherland's in it, and the reason these titles are kind of random is I've just been I put all the movies that I have that I haven't watched yet in a randomizer, click random, and that's what popped up. So that's what I kind of been watching lately. Mirrors, honestly, dude, this one this film could not engage me in it. I was watching it and I was looking at it and I was kind of semi-interested in the stuff that I was seeing, but I just couldn't get into it. I mean, I watched the whole movie and never really felt like involved or, anything like that in this entire movie. There were like a few cool scenes that I remember. One, there was some CGI and stuff, but there was also some practicals. There was a scene with the actress Amy Smart, who was in a few things that I've seen, and she gets her jaw ripped out, and it was cool.
Oh, yeah.
I like jaw ripped out scenes; those are awesome, and that one was pretty fun. A lot of blood, and she was in a bathtub while it happened, so that was even cooler. Blood everywhere in the water and stuff like that. It's kind of like one of those like just ghost things that just bore me, kind of like ghosts and mirrors and shit, and it's just like, this isn't my thing. I can't get into these things unless they're really well done, and in my opinion this one isn't. It had its moments, like I said, but it's honestly, I watched it like 3 days ago and I'm already forgetting what was all going on. I know that the guy was he used to be a cop or something, and he was no longer a cop. He was a security guard or something. He was working at this place with all these mirrors, and he starts seeing shit kind of quickly, though. I did kind of give it props for that, because it was like it started going right away, which is nice sometimes in a film. But after that, it was just kind of like, I can't really remember it already. And there was just like ghosts and mirrors and shit, and him and his wife were split up, and they had a kid and shit, and she was seeing the ghost, and basically the ghost came out, like once they kind of haunted him, they come out of like it shouldn't be called mirrors, it should be called reflections, because they come out of like water and like stuff like metal and shit that kind of gives off a reflection. So yeah, I mean, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
I remember it being kind of mediocre too. It's been years since I've seen it. I think I watched it when it came out. So
yeah, I saw it in theaters.
The reason I gave it a 6 out of 10 because it kind of was like kind of still shot kind of cool. There was some cool scenes and stuff, but it was just really forgettable.
Mm-hmm. Coolio.
Did you like that one, Jeremy?
Oh, I just haven't seen it since it came out, so I really don't remember it. But
Forgettable as hell then, probably.
yeah, I saw it in theaters. I remember people
I
were
think
talking like never wanted to look in mirrors again. I was like, oh, fucking shoot me.
I do remember the jaw part though. I think that's probably the standout scene in the film, though, isn't it?
Yep, it definitely is because it's like the most thing I remember.
Yeah.
All right.
Q. Alrighty, so the next film that I watched is actually another movie that Jeremy sent me, and it is one of two films with the exact same title from 2013, and this one is called Home Sweet Home. Yeah, very odd that two films in the same year came out with the exact same title. This is a kind of like a home invasion type deal. It's about this girl named Gwen.
What was up with home invasion films this year? It seemed like there was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot, actually. I think the other Home Sweet Home one's a fucking home invasion film, too.
Yep.
So,
and it's pretty shitty. So.
But yeah, anyway, so this movie is about this girl named Gwen. Her parents are basically, she's kind of going through some real shit times in her life. She's like out of work and just having a rough time with financial issues and stuff. And yeah, her parents end up passing away, and they kind of leave her the house, I guess. To
blood runs. This sounds like blood runs cold, just in a different way.
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, like, I don't really think that the house is left to her. I think that she goes there to kind of clean up the place and just kind of get it. Or basically, she goes there to get away from her actual real life and stuff.
Can I ask you something really quick?
Yeah.
I seen a film. I can't remember if this is it or not. At the beginning of the film, is there a guy in the house like nailing shit shut and like tampering with stuff, or is that a different film?
No, it's a different film.
Okay, carry on.
So anyways, so she decides to go to this place because it's in like the remote area of like New Mexico. It's kind of like, of course it is, right? It's a house like in the middle of the
fuck nowhere.
Yeah, right. So anyways, she goes there to basically get away from her real life, deal with this house and stuff. She has a brother that's a sheriff of the small town that she's going to and stuff. And anyways,
classic sheriff of a small town.
of course, right? But anyways, so she gets to this house and actually she first has a fucking encounter with this girl she stopped at this local store or whatever. She has kind of like this run-in with this girl and stuff. And anyway, she gets back to the house and she's, doing whatever, having some drinks by herself. And of course this that same girl that she had this encounter with shows up with her boyfriend at this house. But what she didn't know is that they were actually squatting inside this house. They were living there. And so they basically show up at this house, just start fucking with her. And it basically kind of turns into like a home invasion kind of deal, but almost in reverse. Like they were living in this house, and they start fucking with her. And then some shit goes down. It's very much in the vein of very typical home invasion films. But yeah, my thoughts on this one, it's okay.
Better than Cherry Tree Lane.
It's a lot better than Cherry Tree Lane. This one does have a lot of the same kind of shit. I will say the girl and the guy, the squatters, the bad people in this film, they are fucking pretty nasty. Actually, the chick she's a total bitch, man. Like she plays the role real well. Just unrelentless, like just terrorizes this chick, man. Like she's pretty brutal, but there's not really a whole lot of point to the movie. It just seems like when things happen, you're just like, okay. And the very end of this movie is very fucking stupid. I literally stared at the screen and I went, you've got to be fucking kidding me. Like what happens in the very end of the movie, I was like, what? I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like, no. This is no, it's not happening. So that was kind of a real downer. The movie itself was okay. Like, obviously the girl getting terrorized and stuff. She ends up phoning up her friend. Her friend comes and to help her out and shit like that. And what happens to her is kind of unsettling too, because it's kind of brutal and uncalled for. It doesn't really need to happen. But I don't know, man. The main chick in this movie, played by Alexandra Bolin, fuck, she's hot, man.
That's what you said.
It was worth it to watch. She was really hot.
Any titty shots?
No, but I think there might have been a shot in the bathtub where they actually showed her muff. To be honest, that's weird.
What?
No boobs, but muff.
When does that happen?
Yeah.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. But But overall, it's okay. I was really, really pissed off at the ending, though. I was so mad about the ending, so it kind of ruined it for me a little bit. But it's a home invasion film. It's pretty much what you're gonna get with a home invasion film. So if I had to rate it, I will give it just a 5 out of 10. So
average.
Very, very average. I just, the one good thing about this movie is that it wasn't very long. I think it only ran about 75 minutes or something. So, which is basically what a home invasion film should run at. Yeah. Like if you have a really, really long home invasion type film, it's just, I don't know. Awful. I think it just drags and drags and drags. So, but yeah, Home Sweet Home.
Before we move on really quick, I forgot to mention actually the other reason why I was kind of surprised Mirrors was as bad as it was is because the same guy directed the Hills Have Eyes remake, and he wrote the Maniac remake.
Yep, Alexander Aja.
Yeah, and he also directed. He wrote P2 and directed High Tension, and Piranha 3D, and that new Daniel Radcliffe film Horns, which looks weird.
Interesting. Yeah.
Just a thought. Go ahead, Jeremy.
All right, the third film I watched this week was a Magnet film that came out a few years ago. It's recommended to me by my good boy Scotty, aka Willie Mark 1, and that is The Last Circus, put out by Magnet. Have you seen this movie, Moodz?
What was the title again?
The Last Circus.
The Last Circus. Yeah, The Last Circus, great.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun movie about this kid who is grown up in this, this circus. I think his dad dies, and he carries on the family tradition of playing the clown in the circus. He's in the sad clown. It's a Spanish film, so there's subtitles. He's this sad clown, and he goes to this new, carnival type circus, and there's this really hot girl there that he likes a lot, but she is taken by this, the happy clown, who's a total fucking dick. He is such a dick, this guy, and he beats her and all this shit, but she keeps on staying with him, and this guy, like a lot of things in movies, actually, get a liking towards this girl, and he goes absolutely ape shit crazy at the end of the film and just fucking starts fucking shit up awesome. It lasts like half hours. There's a whole bunch of fun, just these two guys just battling each other, going at it, fucking each other up and stuff like that. It's just a really fun, interesting Spanish film put out by Magnet, who usually doesn't disappoint with, most movies. So It's an interesting film for sure. I liked it a lot, actually. You have anything else to say, Moodz, about it?
No, it's definitely, it gets a really high recommendation. It's a good film. I know there was quite a bit of buzz about this film, actually. I think when it came out, when did it come out again? 2010
or 11? I think one of the two.
Or 11, something like that. I remember when it first came out. Like a lot of people were talking about it for kind of it's not a mainstream film, but yeah, it had a lot of buzz. It's good. It's definitely worth checking out.
Yep. I gave it a 7.5 out of 10 again on that one. Really good. Check it out.
Is it my turn again?
Yep.
Okay. The next film I watched is actually, I'm not going to talk about it too much because, come on, it's been talked about to death. It's Halloween from 1978. It popped up in the randomizer, decided to give it a watch because I grabbed that 35th anniversary edition and I wanted to check out the Blu-ray quality on it, and so that's why it was in the films that I haven't watched yet section of my collection. And I don't really want to talk about Halloween right now, but I will talk about the edition. Halloween is a 10 out of 10 for me, just saying. But the edition is it's how many editions of Halloween are there? There's countless editions. This one, I don't know the picture quality on the first release it was out, the first Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I thought this picture quality was pretty good, man. And then on the 35th anniversary edition, I know it's a new transfer.
It's the best it's ever looked.
Yeah, for sure.
I have I have that original Anchor Bay Blu-ray.
Me too.
It's there's some weird off colors in it and
Yeah,
stuff. It's kind of weird. If you compared them, you'd notice it. Yeah, the 35th anniversary is clear as fuck. Like
Oh
it's
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. But so that you know, the edition has some new special features on it and stuff, and it has a new commentary with John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis. I actually listened to. That's how I watched it, because I was like, I've seen Halloween so many times, I might as well watch it with the new commentary. Um, and it wasn't an extremely funny or entertaining commentary. It wasn't very informative either, but it was kind of, it was neat to hear them kind of bickering. They were kind of bickering at each other. Like Jamie Lee Curtis would be like, "Oh, whose car was that? Which one of the crew members' car was that?" And John Carpenter's like, "I don't know. Why do you keep asking me these things? I can't remember." He's like kind of getting a little heated, and it was kind of funny. And she's like, "Calm down, John." and I actually, like those were the highlights, but there wasn't like a whole lot of that. But it was cool. She pointed out some like
there's all these commentaries on these movies, and I've never listened to one ever. It's like
you never listen to a commentary. I if you're gonna listen to a commentary, I either recommend the Friday the 13th Part 4 Deluxe Edition commentary with Adam Green and Joe Lynch. That one's really entertaining. Or one of the Eli Roth commentaries on Cabin Fever. There's like 7 of them to choose from.
I want to listen to the Blood Sisters Joe Bob Briggs
or
commentary.
That one. Joe Bob is
Joe
great
Bob
at
Briggs,
commentaries
man.
too.
So good.
His I Spit on Your Grave one is good. He fucking tears Ebert and Siskel apart on that one. It's pretty cool.
JP, did you watch the featurette on there, the Whorehound signing with Jamie Lee?
That's what I was actually going to go to next. But so yeah, I always kind of, you guys know my opinions on Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she's, overrated, and I think I judging from the commentary, and especially past things, but especially the commentary, I noticed that she doesn't really get horror. She doesn't get the horror fans, and she doesn't really understand it. She even says in the commentary, like, I don't watch horror movies. I will not watch a horror movie.
Yeah.
And seeing her at this convention signing thing, I guess it was supposed to be her one and only convention appearance or whatever.
It was, yeah.
Yep.
I kind of gained like she's kind of like, I have her in this new positive image to her that I didn't have. It's not, I don't completely like her still, like how most people do, but I definitely look at her in a more positive light after seeing that, because she kind of was like, it seemed like she really kind of like embraced it, and even though she may not get it, she kind of was accepting of it and kind of just giving her time and stuff like that. It was really kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember watching it too, and kind of gaining a new respect for her too, because she even admitted like she didn't know that these things existed.
Mm-hmm.
Like these type of horror fans, like the horror film fans are like one of a kind, because
there's two groups of people. There's sci-fi fans and there's horror fans. It's the only two groups of people that there's ever going to be a convention for. You're not going to have a comedy convention. You're not going to have a fucking drama convention. You're not going to have any other shit. There's going to be two type of fans.
Yeah. And she even said, she's like, just, it was so over, I guess kind of blown away by like, how the fans were, how nice they are and stuff. She always kind of figured that the people that were watching these films were going to be, she didn't really say that, I don't think, but like, what she was getting at though, right?
Yeah.
And but then she was surprised at like how the fans were, and they were so nice, and just, and I think she kind of accepted it a little more, and she's like, wow, everyone's
and it
here
was all for charity too, which was very awesome. I love when people do that.
Linda Blair does that.
I heard Linda Blair's the biggest fucking bitch ever.
Do you want to talk about Linda Blair? All right, I'll give my minute spiel on Linda Blair, who I met 2 summers ago at Flashback Weekend. She would talk to everybody for about a half an hour apiece. So I was in line for like 2 hours, and I was only like the 25th person in line or so. And she would talk to everybody for a half an hour, and she would charge extra just to take a picture with her. So it'd be $25 for an autograph and $25 for a picture, which is like, fucking bitch. And she would talk to everybody for an hour and an hour. It's like, can we just fucking sign this so I could go and meet other people?
I've heard some pretty interesting stories about her, because Jason from Beyond the Realms They were at a convention.
Yeah, that whole video was great. Shout out to that video.
Oh,
try to link it, dude. That's a great video.
Yeah, and they were at this convention, and they knew how she was and stuff, but his wife wanted his fucking autograph, of course, right? So he's there with Horseball and their other buddy there, and they literally witnessed her sending her fucking, I guess her bodyguards or whatever, into the crowd and getting people to delete the pictures off their cameras that they were snapping of her and shit. I'm like, you are a fucking bitch. We're fans, man. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like that's really fucking bitchy. That's just I lost a lot of respect for that.
She's the only person I've ever met at all these conventions that charges extra to take a picture with her.
Well, see,
it's crazy.
That to me isn't a bit like, I don't really see that as being like you said, it's for charity. I mean, she's trying to get more money for charity, and the thing is, I don't think anybody has the right to bitch about how much people are charging if people are going to pay for it. You can't bitch about it if people are going to pay for it.
But nobody was paying to take a picture with her. Who's going to pay $25 for a picture?
And she would lower her price next time.
Well, that wasn't for fucking charity. This was for her pockets.
Was it?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it's for. This is like her gain, right? They probably pay, a certain amount to be there, and then whatever they make on top of that, they take home, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so she's charging for pictures, and like it's like 50 bones to get, Linda Blair. So, I mean, really, like.
I mean, here's my $25. Sign my Laserdisc. Goodbye. I'm going to fucking make me stand in line for an hour, and I was only like the fucking 20th person.
So you recommend probably not checking out Linda Blair then, huh?
If you're the first in line, yes, go ahead. But
yeah, just heard a lot of horror stories about how she was actually quite bitchy sometimes too.
I'm not good with bitchy people in real life. Like, I'm just not. Like, I have too much of a pride and temper to deal with that shit, and I'll probably get fucking in trouble. But back to Jamie Lee Curtis, on a flip side, like, she was being very cool. Like, she was talking to people. She started conversations even with people that were nervous and just wanted to get their shit signed and leave. Like, she would, kind of talk to them. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And, as horror fans and as, fans of anything, when you see these people, you kind of envision them in a certain light. And if they're, not that person that you want them to be in your head when you meet them, it's probably pretty disappointing. And I think Jamie Lee Curtis kind of did her best job to be as comforting and nice as possible. And, that's really cool in my book.
Yeah, I thought that she felt pretty genuine. Actually, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
When she's like in her fucking in her hotel room and stuff like that, and she's talking, and then she even came back the next day, because originally it was just supposed to be the one day, wasn't it?
Well, she stayed. I think it was multiple days, but she stayed long. Like, she stayed extra hours and stuff that she was supposed to.
Because she said every single person that showed up there is going to get their shit signed, so it just took longer than expected.
Remember the last person, like the last person that showed up there? It was kind of funny. They made a kind of thing about it. But also, speaking of like Horace Ball and stuff, did you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was I seen Chris and Teresa.
I was in Indianapolis. I was going to go to that, but I didn't want to take the drive.
I like seeing. It was like
I think Justin Ryan. I think he was actually in that too, briefly.
I was going to go.
I didn't see him. I seen Chris and Teresa. I seen Horace Ball, and I seen another two other people.
Yeah, I recognize someone. Yeah, totally. That's pretty cool though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Halloween 10 out of 10. I would recommend grabbing that Blu-ray, but I wouldn't highly recommend it. If you already have 17 editions of Halloween, you probably don't need another one. But if you're gonna get an HD version, I recommend it. I like it. It's a cool edition. It's a little too thin. It has a few problems, but I like the cover art and shit.
Yeah, I talked about that edition itself. I think that putting some art on the back would have been nice and housing the disc better, but otherwise I think it's worth it for the picture quality alone. So
cardboard sleeves is a huge no in my book, man. I hate that shit.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's just dumb.
All right,
so yeah,
go ahead, Moodz.
All right, so the third film I watched this week is one from 2007. And it goes by the title of House of Fears. The cover's kind of misleading on this film. It kind of shows like a clown kind of deal over this building. It's not really a killer clown film at all. Basically,
what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck?
But anyways, so the storyline in this film is it's basically about it's the night before Halloween, and
all through the house, not a creature was stirring.
Well, anyways, this guy that works at this, this place called House of Fears, he's got the keys to the place and stuff, and it's opening up the next night.
It's a haunted house?
It kind of, not really. It's not a haunted house.
What the fuck is this movie?
That the House of Fears is basically it's like a carnival ride in a way. You basically go through this house and it has like these different scenarios in the house, and it's all based on your fears, right? It's like I don't know what you call those things.
Sounds interesting.
Go through a carnival. So, anyways, the backstory for this film is the owner of the place. Is it she? I can't even remember. But anyways, that person, they go around the world collecting like all these like kind of cool artifacts and stuff like that. And they use these artifacts inside this house. So everything that you see in there is like real. Like there's like genuine. Real mummies. Yeah, it's genuine. They have like these real African things and mummies and everything in the house. It's very authentic. It's very cool. So anyways, what happens is they bring back like this African kind of it looks like almost like a wood carving, but it's not. It's like I think it's like cement. I don't know. It's some kind of like African kind of voodoo type shit. Anyways, one of the security guards that's looking after the place one night, he opens up this case, and kind of when he opens up this box with this African artifact in there, he kind of releases like this I guess it's like a spirit, and the spirit feeds off of people's fears. So in the beginning when this guy and his friends go into this house, they're all kind of joking around. I guess he is probably the the guy that gives the tours, right? Because he's kind of treating it as a tour, and he's like, "Oh, what's your fears?" And so everyone lists off their fears, and as they're going through the house, they end up getting killed off in their worst fears and stuff like that. From this, this spirit basically kind of invades certain things in the house. Like
this sounds pretty cool.
It takes over. Like, say if you were scared of scarecrows or something like that, it basically, the spirit goes into the scarecrow and then it takes you out and shit like that. And it's actually
sounds cool.
The idea. The idea is actually pretty cool. I did enjoy this film. I liked it more the first time I watched it. This is the second time I watched this movie. But it's got a very cool concept and idea, and the house looks very cool. Like it kind of has that funhouse kind of feel to it. It's kind of like that. But this one looked really neat inside. And the kills aren't bad. I do like the whole idea of people, say if you were, claustrophobic or something, now you're going to fucking get smothered or some shit like that. I think that was pretty cool. It's actually starring Corey English. She's the girl that's on Holliston. She's the girl that looks like Britney Spears, in my opinion. So that's kind of a plus because she's fucking hotter than shit. So, but yeah, overall, I think this is another really short film too. I think it runs, it's about 80 minutes long, 85 minutes. I thought it was pretty good. I think it's fun. There's not a whole lot of kills because there's not a lot of friends. I think there's only like 5 of them that go into the house. So the kill count, not overly huge, but
sounds fun. I'm going to check that one out.
Still very entertaining. If I had to rate it, I'd probably give it maybe like a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, though, the cover's a little misleading. It does make it look like it's a killer clown film. There is a clown in it because, of course, someone has a fear of clowns. Like everybody does, it seems like everyone kind of does. But I don't know, man. I recommend it. House of Fears. It's a pretty decent watch. Released by some random company, too. It's very interesting. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. The next film I watched is a documentary that is, you can either get it in a separate release or you can get it in the UK Steelbook, and that is More Brains, which is the documentary on the Return of the Living Dead, which is a really awesome, in-depth documentary, very informative of the making of the original Return of the Living Dead, which is many of us' favorite zombie film, or has a very close place to our hearts for most of us. And not much to say about this. This is a very interesting, in-depth look at the film and the production and all that stuff.
You can't even mention Return of the Living Dead without me wanting to watch it right after this shit. Like, I just was like, dude, Return of the Living Dead, I'm about to pop that shit in. Like, I love Return of the Living Dead so much. It's one of those rare movies that I can watch over and over again, like Elm Street 3, that it just don't get old to me. Fucking love Return of the Living Dead.
Have you seen this documentary then, JP?
Yeah, it's a great one. I actually ordered it directly from the site when they released it, and I actually got that poster that was signed by a few of the cast members, like Tina and shit.
Cool.
So
Dope.
that was kind of cool. That was like the first signed shit I ever got.
I
But
love that documentary,
Yeah,
man.
it's really good.
It's so fucking
yeah,
good.
I love.
I think we've talked about this before, but the part when they're talking about the first props guy, and they're like
Oh,
showing his
dude.
effects, dude. It's
Yeah,
the
he's
funniest
such an
part of the doc-
asshole. He's like,
That's
oh, I think my effects were the best effects.
But I just love how serious he was,
Dude.
and I'm like you actually thought that was gonna fly?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
thought
and
that was
it's
good?
not like it's one of those cases where this guy's like such a compulsive like liar type guy that he believes his own shit. Like you know that he was just trying, like he's trying to convince like you that like yeah you know they were, I'll admit they weren't amazing, but they were still pretty goddamn motherfucking good.
It's like, no,
type
they
of
weren't.
shit.
They looked like I dropped my pants and just shat out something. It's like, come on.
That's my favorite part of the whole documentary.
Yeah.
And also I really like when he was talking about Linnea Quigley's scene and stuff. That was cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I also really like that the one girl, not Tina, not Trash, the other girl. I really liked her talking about her stuff. She was kind of an interesting person.
Same with the black guy, man. He was interesting too.
Yeah, that's fucking Demon, yo.
You know, a fucking homeless guy just pulled off the street and look where he is now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was actually a pretty interesting story for him. Yeah.
I love that dude in Friday 5, man. He's funny.
Yeah, and I love But yeah, I was just thinking that when I think it was a few weeks ago we were talking about me meeting a fucking Chris McGlover, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking bring my Back to the Future laser disc. I'm gonna bring my Friday the Part 4 laser disc. It's like fuck Back to the Future. Forgot that he was in fucking Part 4.
Don't say fuck Back to the Future now, but
now you know my opinion on Back to the Future and
yeah,
movies and all those movies. But.
Yeah, so More Brains, A Return to the Living Dead is pretty damn awesome. It's probably one of my favorite horror documentaries. I still say nothing has beat Elm Street Legacy yet, but if I was gonna say like I would say that it's better than like maybe like 25 Years of Terror and some of the other ones.
Yeah, but it's still it's really good.
It's really good. It's one of my favorites actually too. I've watched it a few times.
Did you happen to watch the special features where they go into part 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool that they did that because, you know, it kind of made it like the retrospective type thing.
Yeah,
like
thank
the
God
Elm
they didn't
Street
go into
and
the other shitty fucking movies.
Yeah, because those really aren't part of the series. You know, they were just. I remember hearing a story because when this came out, I remember hearing an interview with the people that were making it, and you know, they said like the guy who made those 2 fucking Necrolopolis and shit. He said something like, you can't make this because I own the rights to like the name or something. Like, you can't make this documentary. Like he tried to tell them they couldn't make it or something.
Jesus.
Well, thank God they haven't made one of those again in 7 years. So fingers crossed those fucking garbage things.
Return of the Living Dead is a trilogy that should just exist as that. Like, I don't see, like, it's a film that doesn't need remade for sure because it's its own thing. It's a product of its environment and time. You know, you can't really duplicate that. And it's a film series that just there's no need for a sequel because you really can't do anything with it. It'd just be another zombie film, right?
Yeah.
All right, JP, do you have a 4th pick?
Yeah, this is my last one before my pick of the week.
Yeah, same here. Same with me.
It is The Woods from 2006. It is a Lucky McKee film, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one I thought this one started off like super strong. And I was really into it. Like I really, really liked the main girl, the like redheaded chick. She's basic. It's set in this 1965, I believe. Right away, I like when they do that. And this girl goes to like a boarding type school. She has like mother issues a bit. Like you can tell her mom's like a bitch. And they pretty much pawn her off to this school because she set, you know, the woods on fire by her house or something. She's kind of a bad kid. And she goes to this, you know, all girls boarding school, and basically it's a witch story. Like I said, I really liked the girl. Like I thought she's like a really likable character, and I really liked the setup. I like, you know, the whole girls' school, 1965, witches, all that stuff. But it just felt like this movie this film never got off the ground. Like it never took off, like it never picked up. It to me, it never felt like it really got going, and it kind of bummed me out a bit. But I still kind of liked it. I just think that it could have done so much more with the concept and the idea and stuff.
I completely 100% agree with everything what you said about that.
Really?
That's exactly what I thought when I watched that movie. I was like, why didn't this could have been better?
It could have been real good. Like, it had all the cool elements. The setting, one thing it does great is the setting and the atmosphere. Like, that's all there. But it just never gets up anywhere after that.
Yeah, it kind of peaks itself early, and it just kind of steadily does it, at one plane, and it doesn't have that great end. I don't know. I totally understand where you're coming from on that one. Yeah, Lucky McKee's done better work than the Woods.
Yeah, I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah.
Have you seen that one, Jeremy?
I am not.
I still recommend checking it out. I mean, it's not a waste of time. It's just, you probably come out a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Seems to be happening a lot lately.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching a lot of kind of mediocre to subpar films lately.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess my fourth film of the week that I watched is a movie released by Sub Rosa Studios, so it's going to be low budget shit, and it is called Gut Pile.
Nice.
Gut Pile. I mean, how could you pass up a movie called Gut Pile? It's fucking.
There better be fucking gore in this film.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
what?
This is a film from 1997, I believe it came out in.
Really? That
very
doesn't
odd
seem like a film title that would exist in 1997.
Yeah, I know, it's weird, isn't it?
It seems like some
shot on
new
video,
indie
right?
trying to get attention type stuff.
Yeah, this is a shot on video film. It's basically about this guy that's out hunting one time, and he ends up accidentally shooting a human. He thinks it's a fucking deer, and he shoots him.
It happens.
Shoots this guy dead. And then, of course, he doesn't report this shit. He basically just takes the situation into his own hands, and he just disposes of the body. He buries it out in this random field that has a scarecrow in it. So the next year, him and his buddies are out hunting again.
You said Scarecrow, it instantly piqued my interest. I was like, what? Scarecrow?
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, it's a year later, and they're back out at their cabin, and they're doing some more hunting and stuff. And of course, the spirit of the Scarecrow, or the Scarecrow, I guess you just call it Scarecrow, comes back for some fucking revenge on these dudes. And yeah, that's basically the plot of the movie. So it is indeed a killer Scarecrow film, shot on video killer Scarecrow film. Yeah, it's very. This movie's short, man. I think it runs 70 minutes or whatever. It's definitely appropriate time for the type of movie. But man, the fucking dialogue in this movie is so funny. Every time their conversations were hilarious inside their their cabin and stuff, and most of it takes place at nighttime when they're playing cards and smoking and drinking and just having stupid conversations and shit. And it's actually pretty entertaining. If you like shot on video films, I would recommend checking this out. It's a killer Scarecrow film, very, very micro budget.
Is it cheap?
What do you mean, like the film
price?
itself?
It's 50 cents on Amazon.
Oh yeah, you can get this for dirt cheap, man.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's also released by Sub Rosa, so you can usually get their films for a couple bucks brand new.
Doug Bradley's going to be in it. Sorry, I'm getting off topic.
But yeah, Gut Pile, it is a shot on video killer Scarecrow film. That's what piqued my interest on it when I was reading about this. And there's a little bit of gore. There is definitely some gut piles in this one, but it is your very kind of typical shot on video. Kills. They're not overly that great, but they're still entertaining. The one thing I did want to note about this film is that the editing actually was pretty well done for 1997. It's edited together pretty good, and it doesn't feel like a total amateur film. But it's like I said, shot on video, low budget stuff, so you know what you're getting yourself into. But it is a killer Scarecrow film, which is very unique. I mean, how many shot on video Scarecrow films is there?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know.
Probably not a whole lot. I know it was just such a rarity to come across, so I had to check it out. But if I had to rate it, I mean, it's not a great movie by any means, but it's definitely interesting. Probably like a 6.5 out of 10.
You know what? I might have to check this one out. Maybe I could get it in time for Shot on Video Week.
Yeah, totally. I recommend it.
So yeah,
gonna go into our pick of the weeks.
Yeah, picks of the week. I always do that too. I'll be like pick of the weeks, but it's picks of the week.
Picks of the week.
Yeah, I do the same shit all day.
You can pluralize that if there is 3 of us. So, yeah, Jeremy.
All right, the film I'm gonna talk about is one of the funnest low-budget slasher films I've seen in a very, 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 very long time.
Like the start of this?
This one blew my mind, guys, and that is President's Day, which finally got released on DVD last year, I think. And, this movie was sitting on the shelf for a few years, waiting for distribution. I was, following on Facebook a lot because I really wanted to see this movie for some reason. And finally grabbed the DVD and I watched it, and this movie really fucking blew my mind. It's just a really fun high school slasher film that Bloody Homecoming should have been, but it absolutely was not at all. But basically this
holiday horror.
Yes, this guy's dressed up as Abraham Lincoln, and he's going around and knocking off these kids at this local high school because there is an up-and-coming election for, the student council. And these kids are getting knocked off one by one, and they're trying to figure out who's actually, knocking these kids off. And the kills in this movie, really just, made me, clap inside because they were so original, so fun, so good, awesome effects. I guess I'll give my favorite kill. Those paper cutters with the sharp razor blades. Somebody's head got put through one of those and just
wait. The thing in the faculty where he like rips the fucking thing off and like turns it into a machete.
Yeah.
Dude, when I used to sit in school and like fucking fantasize about doing that, like just being a badass, rolling over to it and like ripping it off and shit.
Yeah. So this chick's head gets in between those and just slashes it. It's really fun. Just a lot of really original kills and good acting for this low budget film. Everybody's good friend Sean C. Phillips, aka Cool Duder, is in this film. His kill is really fun.
Who's that?
He's a YouTube reality star, don't you know? Jesus. How do you not know who he is?
Carry on.
Okay. He's fucking around.
I know. But his kill is really funny. And, just a really fun new slasher film that's really low budget, but it has the effects, it has the kills, it has the awesome storyline. I really liked it. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I loved it a lot. It's what Bloody Homecoming should have been, like I said.
Cool. You know what? As soon as you said it, I was like, I have this like imaginary list in my head where I crossed off President's Day, like another holiday down.
Yeah. I think it's just a title. It's not like
every holiday.
It's not like based on President's Day.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's just that Abe Lincoln killer is really amusing,
So
I definitely got to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will too. Is it my turn? Correct.
Yeah.
Done what President's Day. Can anybody guess my pick of the week this week?
Yes, you can.
No. I give up.
It's one that I believe was your pick of the week, Moodz. One day.
Really?
Yeah. It's Alice Kills.
Nice.
Oh.
From
these are my recommendation.
11. Yeah, dude. Okay, so going into this one, like you guys both hyped it up, obviously. Okay, so I kind of almost didn't even want to watch it right away because I was like, it's gonna be overhyped and shit like that. And I knew that I would probably like it, but since you guys were talking about it so much, I was just like, I was like, I'm probably not gonna like it as much as them. I saw it as like an antiviral situation where like you guys really liked it and I just kind of liked it. Totally not the case. This came up in the randomizer, so I watched it and I was like, I honestly was kind of blown away by it. I was like, this is fucking dope, man. This is this the type of the stuff that they did in that movie, like the early scenes where they were playing that like vagina game where they would say a movie like Saving Private Vagina, like take the last word off and place it with vagina. Dude, I went to Chinese food with a couple friends. We played that fucking game like all day. Like that's how it's one of those movies that stick with you. And I was thinking about it the next day and shit. And we came up with some funny ones too. I forget most of them though. And you know the relationship between the characters, how they have this like cutesy little game that they play, and the scene on the roof I thought was like done extremely well. Like the way it was like revealed and stuff, it was kind of like chilling. You know what I mean? And just the idea that this girl, it's not a descent into madness necessarily. It's kind of like this girl who's already kind of fucked up just kind of is like finally like, you know, it finally,
it's just like it's just like that event kind of triggers, you know, the downward spiral like into fucking Mach 1.
It's not a case where like that event caused her to go that way. I think she was already kind of that way. It's just what triggered it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I meant. Like it just kind of goes nuts from there, or she kind of goes nuts.
She fucking loses her mind.
I just kind of wasn't expecting. Like I didn't know what it was like. I didn't know. Like I didn't know where this was going. Like I had no idea like what kind of movie this was going to be. And I thought even when that event that we're talking about happens, I was expecting it to go a completely different way than it went. I was expecting it to be like this revenge type thing where, you know, and it didn't go that way at all. And by the end of the movie, you just kind of like want to like give a little clap, like with the like final scenes and stuff. It's like, wow, you know, that was something.
Dude, the very last scene in the movie, isn't it so awesome?
I love that film so much.
The whole scenes where like the very last scene is great, but I mean like the whole like last scenes where it's just like, all right, shit has just gotten like completely out of hand. It's just like it's.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, it's just like awesome. And I thought that the drug dealer guy was actually really, really well done too. I thought he was kind of like a really good like type of drug dealer, and they even like commented on like the clichéness of him and shit, and one of my complaints though was kind of like at one point it seems like she's really kind of addicted to drugs, and then the next scene she's not. And I didn't really understand. Like I thought it wasn't a smooth transition.
Yeah, I can see that.
Jeremy, drugs. I thought you don't like movies with.
That's why I haven't said anything about it. That's why I'm keeping my mouth shut, because I don't want to get in another spiel about drugs. Oh man, drugs and movies. Why do you have to be there?
It doesn't like. I just think it's a part of like certain movies. I don't know. It doesn't bug me at all. But
yeah, it's just part of life. I think
that's. I mean, what it is. Why drugs are everywhere? Like drugs are a huge problem, especially around here. But yeah, so you know, Alice Kills, which I prefer that title over the original title, which is Alice. I think Alice is just too bland. Alice Kills, more noticeable. Yeah, I mean, you guys talked about it before. I really enjoyed it. I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a fucking good film, man.
Yes, I fucking love that film.
Q.
Yep.
Alrighty, so my pick of the week is, well, I guess I had to pick this one. Definitely the best film that I watched all week. And I actually reviewed this on my channel on the 88 series for week 2, and that is Slugs. Fucking killer slug film.
Is fucking awesome.
Man, every time I watch this movie, I just I just love it more. I swear. I don't know. It has such an amazing '80s feel to it, and I mean, and the slugs look so damn cool in this film, man.
Yeah, they do.
They look really good, and like I love the part. I love the
Dude,
part.
I know what
man.
you're gonna say because I wanted to bring it up too.
I
Go
love the
ahead.
part where he reaches down into the
Yes.
into the garden, and that fucking slug like snaps at him. It's just so fucking
That's what
funny, man.
that's a perfect example of like a scene that you have like some friend who's like not a huge horror fan or something, and you're just like dude, you gotta check this out, and you like show it to them, and like they don't even think it's like that cool. Like that's the scene. That's the
Oh,
scene right there.
totally. So basically, the story of the film is just the small town. It takes place in a small town, and basically people are getting taken out by these killer or these mutated slugs. This dude that works for like the health department and stuff starts kind of looking into these killings, and then they soon realize like why, or there was something that had happened and mutated all these slugs, and kind of puts two and two together, and then yeah, you got to save the town from these crazy mutated slugs. I fucking love the scene, dude, in the in the lab when Buddy's doing the testing on one of the slugs, and one of the other slugs actually escapes this jar that he has left open, and he's got a hamster beside him in a cage, and this slug totally attacks this hamster, and it's like the look on the hamster's face is just absolutely hilarious, man. I don't know if they did that purposely, but man, it is so funny to see a slug attack a hamster. I was dying watching it, man. It was so funny. But yeah, really cool effects in this one. Just a fun movie overall. I could not recommend this movie enough. So
It really is just a fucking classic '80s, fucking awesome.
yeah, it's just it really is the epitome of creature features from the '80s. It has all the elements, man. It just has funny ass kills, like the old dude in the in his greenhouse. Like that whole scene is just ridiculous, man. And the sex scene.
The sex scene is awesome.
It's
That's one of
crazy.
my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah, so like there's just a lot of really good kills, and I don't know, it's just, what can I say, it's just a fun movie. I don't know how anybody could not like this movie, but you know, it is what it is, right? I'm not exactly 100% sure what I actually gave it in my video. I think I might have given it,
What would you say if you can't, even if you can't remember, like around?
I think I gave it like an 8.5 out of 10 or something like that.
I think I gave it way back on our old collaboration channel. I think I gave it a 7.5, but
Yeah.
maybe even higher now. I actually need to pick this one up.
It's just it's a perfect example of a movie that every time I watch, like I mentioned right at the beginning of talking about it, every time I watch it, I like it more. You know, it's just it has.
It does
so
seem
much
like one
replay
of those
value.
films that would have that quality.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once, but I loved it.
Yeah, it's definitely something you should check out again. It's just so fucking, it's great.
Cool.
So yeah, Slugs from 1988. Check it out.
Yeah. So yeah. Anything else anybody wants to add on this one?
Nope.
All right. So that is what we watched for this week. I hope everybody enjoyed that segment. Lots of good stuff here with a little bit of shit, but a little bit of good as well. So now we're going to move on to our movie of the week. That is the TV horror film Dark Night of the Scarecrow.
1981.
1981. Does anybody want to describe this one?
Go ahead, JP. I've already done a full review on my channel of this movie, so.
Okay, so Dark Night of the Scarecrow, like Jeremy said, it's a TV film. 1981. We open up with a character by the name of Bubba and a character by the name of Maryline, something like that. Mary Lee. We can tell right away that Bubba is a child in a grown man's body. He's playing with this little girl, and he's a kid. And right away, fantastic performance by the guy. It was never like exploitive or over the top or anything. It was just right.
Yeah.
Highly agree, man. His performance is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and for a TV movie, dude.
Yeah.
And so they're playing, and there's the people. This is a small town, like farmer type town, and the people around the town don't like Bubba. He's a retarded fucking dude who's gonna like hurt this little girl. Like nobody likes him. You know, the town. You know, there's a group of characters who despise him.
It's that very typical small town mentality that that small town hick mentality.
Yeah, very much. And they basically, they mention, like we can't just go down there and keep rubbing his face in the dirt and telling him no because he's too stupid to learn. So basically, Mary, the fucking little girl,
Mary Lee,
and Bubba go and they're walking by a house. Mary Lee wants to go into this garden, really nice garden and stuff, sneak into this, gated fence and stuff. She does, and there's a dog in there that attacks her. Cut to Bubba holding Mary Lee's body in his hands, showing up at her parents' house, bloody, and he's just, completely upset, says he didn't do it, and, she screams, he runs away. Long story short, the guys who don't like him, this is the last straw. He killed that little girl. We're going to teach him a lesson. Bubba runs back to his mom's house, hides in a Scarecrow, and they basically, shoot him. And that's your story.
They go all vigilante on his ass.
They go straight up vigilante on him. And in a scene that I thought was, oh man, dude, just tragic as hell. That whole scene with him running and shit, it was so sad to me, man.
Because the thing is, right when they execute him, inside that Scarecrow outfit, not like the very second later, they hear on the radio that the little girl has lived, and Bubba actually saved her life.
Yeah.
So they all go all guilty and feel bad.
Like right after they shot him, and then
I don't think they all felt guilty.
Well, there's one person that doesn't give a shit, but
yeah. But I thought the mother, man, the fucking mother, dude. Like I felt like the whole relationship with Bubba. That was another great performance, by the mother. Like, took my son and stuff. To me, dude, just seeing him run and like all like just scared, like he looked scared. Like I was like, I seen this film back in the 90s. Okay, like it's been since like 1997 I seen this thing. So watching it now, like I was really kind of blown away by this. Like what it's a fucking TV movie, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And this film doesn't rely on, obviously gore. It's very suspenseful and relies on, slow burn type of deaths and just kind of fear, like the silo thing. That's one scene that stuck in my head from when I was a kid.
I was just going to talk about that.
It's scary.
Yeah.
They just don't make them like this anymore. No, they just don't. And it kind of saddened me thinking about that. Like the TV movie is gone as we know it. Like this thing is so cool, man. You got to see the Scarecrow if you've never seen it.
It's definitely picked up a lot of steam over the last few years, with this Blu-ray release, because all the fans of this film growing up and all that wanted this release, and nobody really knew anything about it. But now it has this huge, cult following, pretty much.
Did you guys see this back when it was like a TV movie, like when you was a kid? Like I seen it a few times as a kid. Like I remember it like pretty well.
I think the first time I watched this movie, I think it was 92, 93. I think I caught it on TV one time or something like that. But I didn't really get to see it until when VCI put out the DVD of it.
It fucking looks awesome, by the way.
A couple of years ago. I bought the DVD and I have the Blu-ray now, and the Blu-ray, wow, yeah, it looks phenomenal. Yeah, it's a really good transfer. Too. Yeah, so I've rewatched it, and I've seen it a few times since, and it's just a great film. There's so many things about the movie that I really enjoy. I love the small town hick feel. It really captured that.
Really does.
It really captures it so well, and especially in the courthouse scene. Like all of a sudden it just like, they executed Bubba, and then next thing you know, they're on trial already. Typical small town, fascism. It's just fucking insane. Like just the way it all goes down, like everybody in the town knows these people. The judge knows these guys, and of course they get off on, not even technicalities. There's just not enough evidence of what they did and stuff, and it's just they captured it so well. It was really well done because it really kind of, it makes you feel like how backwards these towns really are. If you're friends with a judge, you could probably execute someone and get away with it, and that's kind of the feeling I got from that.
Yeah, and also I like the mystery of it, like because it kind of is, a bit like ambiguous in the fact of like, is this Bubba or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not totally like, oh, was it really him or was it, but it is kind of a little mysterious in the way that it's delivered, and I kind of like that. And there's even like this, like there's even like little sub things, like subtext where like the mother says like, I seen how you look at that girl or whatever to the mailman guy, and I'm like, whoa. Like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
definitely a little bit of that going on in the film.
There's just the scene where the dude is where Bubba is just, Bubba Ritter, where he's just running, dude, and he's like falling down and shit. He's like all crying, and they're just chasing him, and they're gonna kill him. Like that shit's sad to me. Like I really felt that.
Oh, dude. Well, what about this? Like when they show his eyes through the Scarecrow mask.
Yeah, that's a
so brutal.
Scene.
Like his eyes, you can see the terror. Like the guy that was playing Bubba did a really great job.
And the reason he hid in a scare, like they drop some knowledge that through a quick line of dialogue that he has gotten trouble in this town before. They're always blaming him for things, and him and his mother had this hiding spot because it's said that he's done it before. He hides in a scarecrow out in the field, but this time they brought dogs that smell, and they led him to him. And I like this scene where they don't immediately like realize it's him. They're just kind of standing there, and they're like, wait. The guy's like, wait a minute, and he gets all close to it, and that's when you see his eyes. Like that scene's really well done.
Yeah, it was shot. That was done really well for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have like too much else to say about it. I mean, I really did love this one, and they just don't make them like this. It really is just a product of its time. It's so
basically
cool.
Basically the entire film is kind of like, I mean, what it comes down to is it's the revenge film.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, right? So
yeah,
I like that though. The whole film is just, it's really just, well, like you said, they really don't make TV movies like this anymore. I mean, the acting is so good in this movie, man. Everyone's good.
Yeah, everyone's good.
Yeah, like you said, the mom was really good, and and just the fucking bastard dickhead postal worker, man. He's such a fucking cocksucker, man.
I wonder if he has the same mail time as they do in Canada. Fucking takes
yeah, but like you really like, he is somebody that you fucking hate.
Yeah.
He does such a good job in that role, man. You really do not like him at all.
He's a fucking douchebag.
Yeah. All the characters were captured really well done performances and stuff. So
I will say that they may have tried to like maybe went a little too far villainizing him, like the scene in the graveyard. You know what I'm talking about, when he does some like shady shit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was needed. Like, I'm not sure if you had to make him go that far. We already know he's a dickhead. He doesn't need to be more. You know what I mean? Might have been a little too much.
I don't know. It doesn't really take anything away from it or anything. I don't know. I think it's fine the way it is. I mean, it definitely doesn't need to be there. But it's fine though. I think it's actually kind of a cool scene. Like, you really catch his emotion when dude jumps out of the hole there.
Yeah.
Like, he's fucking, like, he's terrified, man.
Man. What would you rate it?
Dark Knight of Scarecrow, I believe I gave it like an 8.5 out of 10.
That's what I give it, 8.5 out of 10.
That's so funny because that's exactly what I gave it.
Yeah.
So really quickly, well, after watching this, I started thinking about like, what are some other sad moments in horror films or tragic moments, depressing type stuff. So I created a little top 5 here. I just wanted to say out really quickly. These are my top 5, tragic moments in horror films. Number 5 is Carrie. Gotta have Carrie in there, right? Number 4 is Pumpkinhead.
Nice.
Man, Lance Henriksen, that might be one of his best performances.
I'm meeting him in the summer. I can't fucking wait.
I love Pumpkinhead is like one of my favorite. Like I love Pumpkinhead so much. Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Number 3, Dark Knight is Scarecrow. This one really hit me, dude. Number 2, The Mist. We all know what scene we're talking about. The Mist, right?
I fucking love The Mist, man. Oh, it's so good.
And my number 1 is Pet Sematary. Dude. There's just nothing worse than that shit.
Yeah, when you said you made a top 5 list, the very first thing that came to my mind was Gage from Pet Sematary. Brutal. Yeah. Those are good choices, though.
Can you think of any off the top of your head that would also be there?
Oh, for sure. Nightmare on Elm Street 6, the entire movie. It was tragic.
And it was right there.
It was super tragic, man. Holy shit. Really, Power Glove? Okay.
Good
one. Now I'm playing with power.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't know, actually. I'd have to really think about this.
Honestly,
like I said, the first thing
crazy. I did that in like 5 minutes. Like, I thought of those 5.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. The deaf girl from Jack the Reaper? Not really, but this is funny. I honestly do not know, dude. Like I said, Gage came to mind right away. But Pumpkinhead, that was a good choice. That's a good one.
Yeah, man, Pumpkinhead always stayed, man. Like, oh man, I want to just watch all this shit now. I just want to go watch Pumpkinhead, Return of the Living Dead, Christine, like right now.
Yeah, man.
Just feel like watching all kind of good shit. I mean, that.
Anything else?
I think that's it for Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. Definitely check it out if you've never checked it out.
Yeah,
highly recommend it.
Watch, especially if you like those TV movie horror films, man.
Yeah, I highly recommend the Blu-ray. It's worth the pickup. It's interesting. It's a